What is happening, everybody? It is Sunday, week 16. Gosh dang, we're already semifinals. We're down to the end, boys. We're getting to the very, very end. If you notice, we're missing our guy Alex today. But what we did is we did a 2-for-1 trade. I know we're always talking about those things. We traded Coach and Frito, and we got rid of Alex. I feel like we kind of made a head on that trade, but time will tell for sure. With me up above on the left, who's always with me on every Sunday, is my man Justin. Though, how we doing this morning, Justin?
Hey, good morning, Mike. It's good to be back. Good to feel a little refreshed from the holiday. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, and hopefully we can give you a few extra little gifts, little after Christmas gifts today.
Absolutely. And then on my left, returning from last week, we got our man Frito Band. What's happening, Rich?
Hey, everything is good, man. Let me know if I do come out bad. I could, as far as choppy and sound, I'll jump on my phone so it's a little bit more clear. But it's a beautiful day, Christmas. Gotta see all my kids with a big old smile on their face. And hey, I'm ready to go take my wife to do a little shopping now today.
Hey, there you go. Never too late. And then my man, my homie joining us up, back from Orlando, back from vacation, back from everything. We got our man, Coach Sheps. What's happening, Coach?
Man, life is good. Christmas was good. Got a little break going on. Going to be watching some football later. It's semifinals weekend. We had football on Christmas. It's like we're just surrounded by football. And besides that, life is good. So I'm happy to be here, man.
Absolutely. And you know what you can always do is follow us at www.toiletstotitles.com, the best videos and articles in the industry. This is where you're going to really, really want to get involved in that website there, because this is the dynasty season approaching. And we're all over it. We got the best in the business. Get on that Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean. You can actually find me on most in common street corners in Tampa on most Saturdays, Fridays, around that time of night. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell, give us a 5-star review. Just do whatever you got to do to follow us, because we're going to be giving you content all off season long. You're not going to want to miss this. We're going to start it out. We got our man Chris's videos popping out. He says Michael Carter or Tyler Boyd today. Who are you going
Boyd.
with, Justin? Oh, we got Boyd from Coach. Go ahead, buddy. No, you're good.
I was just reading that, so I've been prepping. I've been looking at the Ravens defense. I looked at the Jaguars defense. So the Carter's playing the Jaguars. Boyd's playing against the Ravens. Boyd has, over the last 3 weeks, he has, 42 points. He's got 14 receptions. Decent amount of yards. I'm going with Boyd. I like the ceiling more there, and I also like the matchup against the Ravens. But Justin, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, no, and I don't necessarily like the split that Michael Carter is going to have to face for the rest of the season either. In the situation that the Jets are in, it's not necessarily going to be all Michael Carter like we saw earlier in the season. So I think. Especially with that injury concern. So I think I have no problem with sticking with Boyd on this one.
What about you, Rich?
I'm tempted to lean Tyler Boyd, but the Jets are also playing the Jags. So I like Carter and stuff like that, and I always go running backs over. So I'm going to be the odd man out and go with Michael Carter today.
Okay, so that's 2-1 Boyd versus Carter, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave my opinion to myself so we don't split that thing up any harder than we just did.
As far as matchups go, the Jaguars are middle of the pack against the run. So, we think on paper the Jaguars are bad, but if you look at the Ravens defense against the pass, they're letting up, they're middle of the pack as well. So the matchups are actually pretty similar. So, don't be jaded just because we see the Jaguars. The Jaguars are bad. But the Ravens actually haven't been great against the pass either. So both are decent matchups.
Definitely. He also follows up with Dak or Russ today. And, Coach, we'll let you lead this one off. Even though you led the last one off, we'll still let you lead this one off.
Yeah, thank you. So the Bears are 4th in the league against the pass. I think Russ, he hasn't looked. So neither quarterback has looked very comfortable. Dak actually, I think, looked better last week, and I'm really putting that on the wide receivers. There was a bunch of drops by CeeDee Lamb, about 4. That would have changed the complexion of the game. It would have changed, would have extended drives, would have given them more opportunities. And I think Dak's game would have looked a lot better. So I like Dak's matchup, especially with Landon Collins out now. He's kind of the voice of that secondary. He's not absolutely, stout against the pass, but he actually gives Dak some headaches, and he's out this week. I like him. The Bears defense looked great last week. And Russ, there's just so many question marks there, man. Something's up with him. So I have to say Dak this week.
What about you, Rich? Who do you think here?
Coach nailed it right there. Everything he said. That's why we have him on the show today, because he gives so much great analysis and everything. So I appreciate you being on, Coach. But I am gonna be seconding his thoughts.
And Justin, do you have an argument to toss in there?
No, I don't. I was actually trying to look to see if Lockett was activated yet but it looks like he was activated on Thursday, so Lockett will be back. But even with Lockett, like, Dak just has way too many weapons. I was gonna say Dak all along. I was mostly looking up the Lockett info for anybody that might have questions about him later. But yeah, so Lockett is active, but definitely Dak in this situation. And I have a whole list of guys that aren't playing today, if you want me to run through that real quick.
Yeah, absolutely, if you don't mind.
Because and I mostly just wrote down the key guys. We've got Austin Eckler, Travis Kelce, Dalvin Cook, Jared Goff, Mike Williams, Tyler Hundley, which means they're down to their third string because Lamar Jackson's still out. Cole Beasley, Brandon Cooks, Gabriel Davis, Ramondre Stevenson, Laviska Shenault, Harrison Butker. Those are just your offensive guys, your fantasy football guys that you might be relying on. And there were even obviously some key defensive players and offensive linemen that could also affect the way that you set your lineups, but definitely something to consider. The other thing to consider with this particular question with Russ is that this is our only bad weather game for today as well. We have somewhere most of the game after the wind chill factor and everything is going to feel like it's below 20 degrees in that game. And the wind isn't going to be super bad, but in that stadium with the gusts, sometimes in that stadium in Seattle, the gusts can get well over 20 to 30 miles per hour for field goals. So that's something to consider as well. And also snow in that game early on that could last the whole time. So another reason to go with Dak.
Can I throw something out there? So Justin was talking about injuries. Can I throw a little prop bet that I saw this morning? So right now, Vegas, the line for Antonio Brown reception yards is 66 yards. I am slamming the over. I am so confident that he goes over. I think he might go over 66 yards in the first half. So, Jez, I know my guy from Dollars to Deuces, Rich, is in here. Rich, what do you think of that prop right there?
I love it. And also throw in the fact that he has a lot to make from his contract these last 3 games, especially with Godwin being out and Evans being out. He can make a lot of hay as far as his contract, as far as maybe receptions, yardage in these last 3 games. Over $1 million is from what I'm reading. I mean, he can make a lot these next 3 games. So he will be focused on. I know Brady is probably going to be looking to focus on him. But I love that over. I would be slamming that over too.
That's awesome. I dig it. Oh, we got Dylan, 23 says Justin Jackson, Sony Michel, or St. Brown with no Goff out there.
Well, I mean, we just said that Austin Eckler's out, so that obviously gives Justin Jackson a bump, and I think that gives him a clear bump over Sony Michel since Henderson is back and has another week under his belt back from the injury. I really like St. Brown, but I mean, unfortunately, I like him with or without Goff, but I can't take Amon-Ra St. Brown over a running back that I think is going to get the majority of the carries. So I got to go with Justin Jackson in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree on that. I saw a similar tweet earlier that I commented on Twitter and everything. And look, Justin Jackson is going to be heavily involved. I know they got what's the other running back, the rookie from last year? I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but look, Justin Jackson is going to get some tons of, and look, with Williams being out,
Joshua Kelly.
There you go, Joshua Kelly. But with Williams being out and other key players being out on the offense, look, he's going to be involved in the receiving game too, underneath and everything. So I do like him a lot, especially in a PPR league.
And I'm leaning Justin Jackson here myself. I think he's going to get the volume here. I do like St. Brown a lot today. Sony Michel's been getting a lot of work done for us. But Justin Jackson being the primary back there for me is a smash. Yes, let's do it. We got Ryan.
I feel like Michelle. One second. I feel like Michelle is a ticking time bomb. where I think the Rams know that, and I think they're going to ride him till he explodes. And
Fair
I don't
enough.
think you need to I think you could give Henderson, some rest, because that eventually you're not going to be able to, Sony Michel is going to be out at some point. And I feel like if you throw them both in there and give them equal touches, they're both ticking time bombs. Now you might lose both of them. And Cam Akers ain't ready. We know he ain't ready. So I kind of feel like, Michel is a good start, but also there's a possibility he busts, he burns out. So I'm with you guys on Jackson.
Yep, I like the volume play out of Jackson mostly, and Sonny Michel just scares me a little bit because that whole ticking time bomb that could go off at 2 minutes into the game. So, we got Ryan N says, "Hey guys, he needs high ceiling plays in a PPR. He faced opponents, or his opponent had Edmonds and Adams, and they dropped 50 on him. Yowzers. We got to pick 2. We got Odell, Claypool, Damian Harris, Penny, Goder at 2 flex. So." Thanks, guys, he says. But what are we starting off with, Coach? Who we picking out of this?
So when I do multiple choice, I like to start out with elimination. And I'm eliminating Penny 100% because DJ Dallas is better than Penny, and DJ Dallas should be starting. He actually could catch the ball out of the backfield. He's pretty elusive. I just think there's no competition there. So I'm eliminating Penny. Now with Goddard, is it tight end premium? Because if it's tight end premium, I'm considering him. Especially, he's been off the chains. He has absolutely been off the chains. I like Harris. I know he's not necessarily the ceiling. He's there, but I feel like he's safe. So I feel like we have to go with Harris because even though you need 50, we also need points. And I know Harris is going to get me points. So I'm going to play Harris. And then between Odell and Claypool, Odell has looked good. And I've noticed Stafford starting to look for him when he's under duress. I know Kupp is his guy. And speaking of Kupp, last week there were times when Cooper Kupp was open, like after already getting 8 or 10 receptions, that it's like, what the hell are you doing? How are you letting? It's not like this guy has been inactive the whole game and he's slipping down the middle of the field. He's slipping down the middle of the field after torching you already for 8 receptions. So you got to think the defense at some point. I hope it's not now because I got Kupp in a lot of my leagues and I need him to dominate for me. You got to think at some point they're going to start bracketing him with 2 or 3 guys. And if that happens, Odell Stafford's starting to look for him when he's under duress. And that means there's a little bit of respect there, a little bit of confidence there. I'm going Odell and Damian Harris. Those are my 2 plays. And I might consider Goddard over Odell if it's tight end premium.
What do you think, Justin?
So don't forget as well. I mentioned that that Ramondre Stevenson is out as well, so that even more solidifies Harris as the obvious definite here. Personally, if you need big points, that means you need touchdowns. If you need touchdowns, you need Odell or Goddard here. Claypool just doesn't do it for me. And then with that backfield split. Although I do think that Penny's going to have a decent game. I really do. And I think him and DJ Dallas can both have a decent game in that game today because of the weather conditions and because of what we talked about earlier. Okay, not a tight end premium. Okay, so that's the deal breaker there, just like Coach said. I think I'm going to go with Odell.
Yeah, I'm going to go Odell and Damian Harris too. Look, last time the Pats played the Bills, Harris, even injured in the game, still ran for 125 yards in that game. It was an all-run game. I get that and everything, but he had a good game against that defense. So we already know how he can do against that defense. So I will be picking Odell and Harris.
Yep, and I agree. I actually was thinking Odell and Harris right out the gate for almost the exact same reason. So that's a 4-pack for that one right there. Our Ukrainian, what's happening in Trans-Siberian? How are we doing today? Welcome back. He says, hey, boys, how you doing this evening? He says he's flexing standard. We got Penny or Palmer. Joe, what are you drinking to piss me off this week? And he said, Joe, what is he thinking? He said he must have had some Biden on the brain. He said, Mike. And so today we're actually featuring beer because I'm on vacation. So being on vacation, we're going to drink beer as soon as it's sunlight out because that's what we do around these parts. Last week you missed it, buddy. I drank borscht. It was all borscht, all for you, all for my Ukrainian friend, and you weren't there.
Yeah. He had a specially an especially homemade label and everything. It was there was no Dr. Pepper on the show this week for you, but
yep, just borscht.
It gives me a chance to.
Rich. Rich.
it reveals itself again. Now I got to send another email to Dr. Pepper.
Yep, there you go. Well, Rich,
Hashtag
why don't you go ahead and lead this one off then, since you're the one who put the dagger in his heart. Who are you playing today, Penny or Palmer?
Man, this is a tough one because I got to go Penny on this one because I just don't know what Palmer's going to do. Palmer's shown some excitement here and there, everything with some of these catches he's had recently. He's been active in the last 2 games with all the COVID going on and everything. But I think in this case right here, you still got Keenan Allen. You still got Guyton. Is Guyton playing or is he one of the ones that are out too? Do we know?
Guyton's out.
Guyton's out.
He's in. I'm pretty sure he's out.
Yeah,
let me double check. I'm sorry. Oh, he's out. He is out.
He is out.
Yeah.
Man, Palmer might be heavily involved too and everything, but I think I got to lean Penny in this with it being a flex.
I like Palmer.
Look at that.
I like it. I like Palmer. I like Palmer, man. I looked in my redraft league to see if by chance he was available because I have a few tough decisions myself. I like Palmer. I think the over-under for yards for Herbert's like 274, and the Texans are middle of the pack. I want to say they're like 14th or 15th against the pass, and they're going to be able to run all over them. They should go up early, so that might dictate a game script where they're not throwing as much. So I think I don't know, but I don't know if Penny's safe either. So I don't know if either of these are safe. So I hate to do this to you, but I don't want to be 50-50 here. But he's with Penny, and I'm with Palmer.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go Penny. For me as a safe play for sure. We're back to 50-50. I see that grin.
No, I'm gonna go Penny.
If you need to go with the safe play, like if you just need a better floor, in my mind, like I said earlier, I think that Penny and Dallas are both gonna have a decent game. The one that scores the touchdowns is gonna have the big game. I am with Coach. DJ Dallas definitely looks like the better running back, and he's been saying that for weeks. It's the only reason I really noticed because sometimes I like to watch for certain players that he brags a lot about just so he can be wrong and I can rub it in, but that doesn't happen. It never happens.
Happens sometimes.
But anyhow, so I still think that both of them have a decent game. If you need big points, then I think Palmer is your touchdown upside. But you asked. Trans-Siberian, you asked, so I get the opportunity to brag that my son that lives in Cincinnati now was home for the holidays, got us an awesome coffee bean grinder. So I'm actually drinking some really awesome Starbucks coffee that he brought us from the Starbucks he works at in Cincinnati. So that's what I'm drinking. And then also just curious, Trans-Siberian, if you could in the comments, are you also Deputy Dog on Twitter? Because I got a new follower from the Ukraine this morning. I followed you back if that's you. If it's not, then definitely follow me. I'll follow you back. I promise.
Yeah, we're really starting to pop in the Ukraine, which is what this has been all about the whole time.
So weird.
That's
it.
Yeah. That's it. Now we're all trying to get over there.
Yeah.
That's where we want our studio to be.
We got Mr. Crowler. He says, "What's up?" And then he says, "Should he start Zeke, Jamal Williams,
Javonte? Is it Jamal or Javonte?
Javonte Williams. Sorry,
who is it? You got to let us know, Mr. Crowler.
Mr. Crowler, you have to let us know which Jay Williams we're talking about because I thought it was going to be Jamal for sure. Out of this though, I'm still starting Zeke. I don't care if it's Jamal or Javonte. I'm still starting Zeke in this mess.
Man, I don't know. Javonte is tempting though.
He's cleared. Javonte's cleared to face the Raiders. And the Raiders are 23rd against the run.
Well,
Rich, they are.
And the Raiders have established every single week that they are really bad at defense. So
except for the week they played us.
Yeah.
If it was me from just picking one, I'm going Zeke. Javonte still has to deal with Melvin Gordon. Look, I guess they are playing against the Raiders, which aren't good against the run. Their run defense ain't that good, but you have to go Zeke. You picked him higher. You drafted him higher. You always go with whoever you drafted
and locks in at quarterback. So I feel like this is a week where we finally will see Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, Tim Patrick all involved. So who's the better pass catcher, Javonte or Melvin Gordon? We probably don't know yet.
50-50. Yeah. I mean, they both catch the ball good out of the backfield.
Javonte, I don't know that the Broncos know how to take advantage of that yet, but it's
right.
Fun.
I think Javonte could have a better stat line than Zeke, but I like I said earlier, I think Zeke gets in the end zone at least once.
Locke is a gunslinger. He's going to be throwing it to the receivers all day. I think this is one of those weeks where you might want to back off on the running backs for Denver due to the fact that just that's Locke's mentality.
So this one's really close for me between Javonte and Zeke, and when that happens, when they're both running backs, and I have very similar vibes about them, I usually try to get advice from a couple of these guys right here, and they're both saying Zeke, so I'm gonna go with Zeke.
Zeke it is. We got our man Mark Wahlberg. Justin Jackson, Sanders, or Barkley today.
Man, are we the funky bunch?
We must be.
That's beautiful.
I was gonna throw a pun in there, but you beat me to it.
Man, Barkley, but so is Sanders. I don't know, man. I feel like this is one where I don't know if this is a good reason. I don't have any Barkley, but if I drafted Barkley and I made it to the playoffs and I had these options and I wasn't confident in either of them, I'd almost feel forced to start Barkley just for the sake of like, you ever see Titanic when the band is playing the violin as the ship is sinking? Maybe that's not a good metaphor because I don't want your ship to sink.
That's a fantastic metaphor because that could be exactly how it all goes down for you if you play Saquon.
I almost feel like you have to, like if it's going to happen, man, it's got to happen. And I don't know necessarily, even a middle of the pack game from Barkley might be equal to what the other guys do anyway. So I'm glad I don't have to make that decision. So maybe if I was making that decision, I'd be a little different. I think Jackson's the safe play because I don't really like Miles Sanders. Barkley, I'm leaning Barkley. What about you guys?
Man, I want to lean Barkley because I have him in one league. But here's the thing that is forcing me to Justin Jackson. Every time I watch the games and I'm watching Giants and I see a long run take off or a running back out of the backfield catch the ball for like 20, 30 yards, I look down and it's freaking Booker, the one that's making the dang play.
Yeah.
It seems like he's the one that's making the big plays out in the Giants and everything. I have Barkley. I have to start him because of the fact that I drafted him, but I do like Justin Jackson this week a lot. I mean,
man,
I would
Sanders
be tempted.
Has gone over 120 the last 2 weeks. I don't know if I should be a little, maybe I should take off my hater glasses. This is tough.
I think I'm going to go with Barkley. I'm okay with going with Barkley here. When he initially started the season, he was coming off of the injury. He was progressively getting better and better in the stats and from watching the game. His ankle, his injury just looked better and better. His gameplay looked better and better. He got injured again, and now I've noticed the exact same trend. He's just increasingly looked better and better. Now the stat line didn't look so much better last week because he played that stout Dallas defense, but the injury itself looked pretty good. Like he didn't look like he was hampered at all. And now he gets Jake Fromm. Jake from State Farm is the quarterback today, and I feel like that's going to lean heavily for him and Booker. I think they're both going to get a lot of look out of the backfield. So I'm going to go Barkley sheerly out of a volume play here, more so than anything. But that also could kind of lead us into a question that I got a message for Kenny Bowe. Our boy Kenny Bowe from the ONC has requested information on whether or not we think that Jake Fromm, his guy in college, he absolutely loved this guy coming out of college and wants him to be a guy somewhere. He's pleading. Do we think that he could be the next franchise guy for the New York Giants?
Well, Joe just said morning all and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Joe's in the chat. That's our resident Giant fan. So maybe we'll have to wait a few minutes if Joe's still watching. Maybe he'll reply and let us know if he thinks that could happen. Because I just read that it could all be baloney because everything right now is coach speak and baloney. But they're saying the Giants are going to bring back Jones next year, bring back Joe Judge, and that could change. I don't trust anything right now, but there's a possibility. But as far as today goes, Kadarius Toney might be active. And if you need to start Jake Fromm, I don't feel comfortable if Toney isn't active. But Toney's the type of cat who you shouldn't need to start Jake Fromm right now, unless you're playing DFS and you want like a low budget play. And if you're just throwing a flyer out there, Kadarius Toney's the guy who can take a 2-yard pass, 80 yards. So he might hit a home run, and that is going to result in big points for Fromm. But man, I don't know about his future.
Yeah, I don't think Kenny Bowe is asking for fantasy purposes. I think he really wants him to just be a franchise quarterback somewhere.
Today's going to be a good indicator.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair. We'll at least get to see what he's got out there. Mark Wahlberg also asks, pick 3, Mixon, Jackson, Javonte, Sanders, or Barkley today?
Barkley, Sanders, and Mixon. That's my 3.
Same.
Mixon, Barkley.
I agree.
Mixon, Barkley, and Jackson for me.
Okay, so it's a little change up there on the Jackson, but yep, you got 3-1 Barkley, Mixon, and Sanders looking good. That's not a bad setup going out there today. Jesse Torres says 2 running backs in a flex. We got Gibson, Jacobs, Henderson, Michelle, Gordon, Devontae Parker, Tyler Johnson, PPR. So let's run our 2 running backs first here. Who we getting out there? Is Gibson? I haven't heard yet. Is he still game time? Right?
Last I saw, he was playing, but let me double check.
I'm leaning Gibson and Jacobs as the 2 running backs.
He's a game time call as of 3 hours ago.
Yeah. But it looks like he's going to play. It looks like so. He's looking like he's trending in the right direction there. Yeah. So we'll assume he's playing.
Dallas's defense has been good against the run, but where we struggle is runs to the outside. That's why you saw, Barkley, actually, the Giants were kind of using him inside. And I always bash on him because he doesn't run physical. He doesn't lower his shoulders. But to start the game last week against Dallas, he was doing that. So I have to give him that. But Booker was getting the outside runs, and he was getting to the edge. And Gibson can do that. So I'm worried about him. Man, I'm starting Gibson if he plays. Man, maybe Gibson, and he needs 2 running backs.
And
Jacobs has been average. Go ahead, Justin. You have a better feel for this.
I really want to say Jacobs, but that Denver Broncos defense actually does look legit, even when they're not playing the bad teams that they started off with at the start of the season. So even though Jacobs in that running game is pretty much the heart of that offense until they have to go to Renfro, obviously. I think I'm going to go with Gordon and Gibson if he plays. But if Gibson doesn't play, like Coach is trying to toss around in his head, then I would throw Jacobs in there as my 2 running backs. And then you want 1 flex, and I'm not huge on either of those flex options because of matchups today as far as your wide receivers go. So my flex option is going to be that other running back. Now, if Gibson is out, I might think about Devontae Parker, but it's going to be hard for me to bench Henderson, a healthy Henderson that has another week under his belt. I'm not as sold that Sony Michel is going to get a whole lot of look and a whole lot of play. So I'm pretty comfortable starting Henderson in my flex if Gibson doesn't play.
Right now, the buzz is that Tyler Johnson's supposed to fill in for Godwin. So, Godwin's out, Evans is out. I kind of like Tyler Johnson as the flex. I like Gibson. I think one of Darrell Henderson or Sony Michel will have a better stat line than Gordon. But I think Gordon, like I was saying for Zeke earlier, I think Gordon's likely to get into the end zone. So I would probably go Gibson, Gordon, and Tyler Johnson.
And, I mean, without Fournette in the game, I mean, Rojo, let's face it, is not that good of a running back, and he's facing a pretty tough run defense. So it could
Arians hates him for some reason.
Yeah, I think those reasons are obvious. But
I think it's because he's dreadful as a running back.
So I mean, if they are going to lean heavily on the pass and they don't have any passing options, I mean, he definitely could be a big volume play.
Yep, I like Tyler Johnson in my flex right there. I also am good with Gibson and Jacobs. I'm Henderson over Gibson if Gibson obviously doesn't play as well. We got Trent Siberian says this is why he wasn't here. His wife had him out and about, and he said Coors Light was his go-to. They got no Coors there. And he said the beer here is 8%, and he was born in Henderson, UNLV grad. And that's awesome because I am a University of Wyoming grad, so we were kind of in the same conference there, bud. And I know the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, I believe it's the Lobos, right? Not Lobos. It's goodness sakes, it's the New Mexico Lobos. But anyway,
it's the Rebels, right?
Rebels. Yep, the UNLV Rebels. There you go. Yep. Always had
my wife would ask how the hell I know that, but don't know like some other stuff that she told me yesterday.
So
yes,
he is Deputy Dog then, by the way, on Twitter.
he is. Yes, yep.
That's
He is
at
Deputy
Randy
Dog.
Russell. That's at Randy Russell _UA. Everybody needs to give him a follow because he's been very active in our chats. You know what? I'll put a banner up real quick.
That's right. We got Trans-Siberian State toilets and titles #1 in the Ukraine with a bullet in the Ukraine. That's right. You're damn right. Justin says he has to replace Kelsey PPR, Brevin, Jordan, Uzama, Komet, or Everett.
Komet has been the go-to guy the last 3-4 games in Chicago. I don't see that changing, even with whoever the QB Foles out or with Foles being in. I see him even being more involved. So I like Komet in that as these choices.
I'm an Uzama guy. I like Uzama. I've been liking what I've been seeing out of Uzama. I've been liking the target share he's been getting. For me, it's Uzama here.
Yeah, I was going to say I like Uzama as well, and I'm trying to look it up right now because he had a huge game against Baltimore several weeks back, and I've been big on Uzama ever since the offseason, and unfortunately, it's bit me more than it's helped me. He's not played nearly to the volume that I thought he was going to get, but yeah, back in week 7, only 3 catches, but it was for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. So obviously, the likelihood of him getting 2 really long touchdowns again against that Baltimore defense, now that they've had time to get used to having a depleted secondary from the training camp that they had, that rough training camp. I mean, obviously, he's not going to repeat that performance. But given the options, I would say Komet because he's had the more recency bias in your head. Like Komet has played much better recently, just like Rich was saying. I just don't like that weather and the game script call there. I think they're going to be a pretty run heavy game today. So in this situation, I'm still going to go with Uzama and hope that he gets free again for another long one.
The Ravens are giving up the 5th most fantasy points to tight ends this season,
and he was a lot of it.
yeah.
Right.
So that's something to consider. Now, Komet's going against the Seahawks. Let's see where the Seahawks land. The Seahawks are giving up the 7th most fantasy points to tight ends. I have a buddy who has Kelsey down, and he has to start Komet, and he's my bro. So I'm hoping that Komet goes off for his sake. So I'm just saying Komet because I'm trying to speak that into existence.
There you go. Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Just look at what you did with Micah Parsons right there.
That was a 2-year process.
Yeah,
I had to get that one. I had to get that one out in the universe early, and then I beat that drum. I beat that drum pretty loud. But I think the matchup says Ravens, but I don't think the Seahawks are that much worse of a matchup. So the matchup say Uzama, but I don't think you can go wrong with Komet.
This is our Siberian buddy down there, by the way.
Oh, there you go. At Randy Russell _UA. Love it. Good
Look
dude.
him up.
Heck yeah. We got Justin. He says PPR, wide receiver, 2 running back flex. We got Deontay Johnson, Waddle, Rojo, Madison, Mixon, Miles Sanders, and Javonte. So we got a wide receiver. So 2 running back flex. Okay. So I'm not really too sure how that reads to you guys, but I'm thinking we need 2 running backs here.
And a wide receiver.
Right.
So a wide receiver, 2 running backs, and a flex. I read it as. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He needs to start 4 people.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
That makes sense.
I'm playing Madison and Mixon as my 2 running backs. I'm playing Waddle as my wide receiver, and in my flex, I think I'm probably flexing Deontay Johnson.
Hell yeah. Deontay's a volume guy, man. I like Deontay. I think Deontay and Waddle, I think they both could give you could probably get 18 PPR points from the 2 of them just in receptions alone today.
Right.
I think you got to start those 2 cats. Mixon, I think the Bengals could go up early in this one, very early, and the game script might dictate a lot of running. But now, if the Bengals are feeling confident, they might rotate running backs. But I do see a lot of volume for running backs in Cincinnati today because Baltimore's they're in trouble. But you know what? The saying is play like a Raven. And I'll have to give Harbaugh credit because it doesn't matter what he puts out there. How about the Colts last night, by the way? Let's talk about them a little bit. Banged up. They played Colts brand football. You got to give – that's coaching. That is coaching. That is character. That's tenacity, and that's perseverance, okay? And I think the Ravens – they're a team that has a little bit of that. So maybe it won't be as easy of a task as I'm thinking it will be. So that being said, Deontay, Waddle, Miles Sanders, and I'm still throwing Mixon in there.
So Miles Sanders instead of Madison with Dalvin Cookout.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you have to have Madison in there with Cookout.
I looked at Sanders' stats the past few weeks. He's getting it done. He is.
Okay. Yeah,
I like how you guys been saying Cookout so many times. Makes me want to go Cookout.
That might be the beer.
Could be the beer.
Dude, I live in Indiana and I wore a T-shirt on Christmas yesterday. That was amazing. Like I don't get it, but I'm not complaining.
What did your T-shirt say? What, the elf?
I don't remember.
You need a T-shirt that says "What the elf" with a picture of an elf on it.
I don't think I went Christmas yesterday because I had my pajama pants on all day because I go to my mom's for Christmas Eve night. So,
man, the Rams are 6th in the league against the run, and that matchup for Madison. I know that they like to run the ball and they run the ball well, and Cook is out, but it's going to be tough. And he's coming off of COVID. You know, he might, if he was sick, I don't know if, so you don't know if they actually had it or if he was sick, his lungs, you know, he might be, there's a few question marks there.
Gotcha. Well, I like the other way. What about you, Rich? Did you say who you liked in this one?
I would be going Madison, Mixon, Deontay, and I'd actually be going Rojo over Waddle. Same fact that you're going with talking about Madison. Look, he was on COVID last week too and everything, and I want to see how he returns this week. Devontae Parker has been a big part of their game ever since he's came back. Now, that could be a factor with Waddle being out and everything, but I'd rather have Rojo because I think he's going to be heavily involved in the game with all the injuries they've had and him being the number one back there.
Gotcha. I like it. So you got kind of a good different spread there as far as that goes. Joe Clark says Justin Jackson over Barkley. You can tell he's got that New York self-loathing going on now at this point in the season. The 4-10 Giants have gotten to the best of him where he's like, I don't play any of them. And then a guy after my own heart, we got Dirty Money says pick one, Diggs, McLaurin, or Thielen. And I can't sit Diggs, man. I can't sit Diggs.
I can't answer this one. I can't. I plead the fifth.
Why? Is he going against you?
No, this is hard. This might be the hardest question.
Nah, pick one. I was about to say, I know Thielen probably ain't going to play. He's still a game time decision and everything. I would be, if it was.
They said yesterday that he is trending towards playing.
Yeah, but this morning I read that he's very questionable.
Gotcha.
So
either
even
way,
with him being very questionable, I wouldn't be picking him over the other two options right now.
Right.
To me, it has to be Diggs.
Man, McLaurin torched the Cowboys for like 208 yards last year in 2 games. Last time they played Dallas, he was held to 0 yards. I'm a man of averages and numbers. Okay, I feel like it's got to even out, and I could just see McLaurin going off today. Heineke is back. I'm hoping I'm starting Josh Allen. I need Josh Allen to ball out against the Patriots, and I know the narrative is saying that ain't going to happen. I need him to I need the Bills to just rip apart the New England Patriots. I need 400 yards through the air, rushing touchdown, 3 passing touchdowns. That's what I need, okay? I'm speaking that into existence as well.
Yes.
But I also think Terry McLaurin, I think I know I've said this a few times about players being due, and it just, man, players play to the back of their card, and his card says he dominates Dallas, and he didn't last time. He got dominated, and I got to think he's going to have a matchup this week where it's going to look very good on paper.
I absolutely hate Bill Belichick as a Colts fan, but I got to admit that he is a genius. He's a smart mind, and one thing he's really good at is completely taking away the best offensive option of the other team. He does that's how they set up their defense. They've been doing it for over 20 years. They double team. They do whatever they have to do. They take out that best player and then just hope the other players don't make enough plays to beat you. So that's why it makes this one tough for me. I'm going to lean towards McLaurin in a close decision, mostly just because I know McLaurin is going to perform no matter what. So Diggs does have some up and down games, and I think this is going to be one of those down games because of that defense. So still hope you get that win, Coach, but I don't think it'll be via Diggs.
I'm going to be speaking this into existence too, because I need Allen and Diggs to go off in the one draft where you, me, and Justin were up in, at the Canton. There you go. I win this week going into the finals to win that ring. So I need Diggs and Allens to go off. So
the ring that Uncle Steve dropped.
There you go.
The brand needs you for those players to go off so you can get that ring. That would look nice in the toilets, the title shelf.
Yeah, he's got the T to T logo on the website.
I got our schedule on the website just so everybody can see when I win, and they go on there and see that logo. They see our schedule.
Yep.
We gotta do like a video stream where we take the like a parade, a Super Bowl parade, and just stream it live, but it just superimpose Rich's face on a float and just stream it live. It'll be an all day, 24 hours for one day live stream of Rich and we could do multiple parades. I'm going to pass this off to Campy. I'm sure he'd love to work on this project, just superimposing Rich on multiple Super Bowl parade floats and just streaming it live on a loop.
There you go. We got our man Michael Brown. He says, who should he start at flex? Zeke, Javonte, or Justin Jackson? We got PPR. One of my best friends growing up was named Michael Brown. And Michael Brown, I'm going to tell you this. I'm playing Zeke here too. I like Zeke. I think that Tony Pollard eats into his game enough, but I feel like all three of these guys got that situation going for him. For me, Zeke's the most talented guy in that backfield there. So give me Zeke.
Yeah, the PPR makes it a little more closer for me, but I think I'm still gonna play the guy that got me to this point in the playoffs. So I'm gonna stick with Zeke.
Zeke here too.
Let's go with Zeke, baby.
That's a 4-pack for Zeke. And oh my God, Hilda Mack, what is happening? Finally, it's football season for me because Hilda Mack has always been very involved in the Blitz. It's good to see her back. She says PPR, Devonta Smith, Michael Carter, DJ Moore, Jamal Williams, or Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I can tell you as a person that's been with, but Dana's been with us for years on the old Blitz. She always gives us these tough questions. She's always got solid-ass lineups. So this is no different. So who we picking out of this group? Because for me, I'm thinking it's Michael Carter out of this. I really like Michael Carter today. I think he has himself a day. What are you guys thinking here?
Man,
this is tough. This is a very, very tough question. Man, I do like Devontae Smith though too.
I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah,
I think I'm going Devontae Smith in this one.
Going up against the Giants. I mean, he is going to draw the best coverage though. They have that shutdown receiver as a Bradbury, if I remember right. He's pretty solid. Jeez, I don't know. And then you got DJ Moore hanging around there that even with the bad quarterback play is still consistently putting up, 8 to 10 points every week. And Carolina's going up against Tampa Bay. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. I think it's down to those two for me. I would probably lean Devonta Smith as well.
So that's 3 for Devonta Smith, 1 for Michael Carter. So definitely, definitely good to see you back there, Dana. Glad you finally found us there. Definitely. Joe Clark says, how do you think AB will do in his first game back in a while?
I think he has over 66 yards by the half receiving.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody else there. Like, they may as well just let him run the ball too. I mean, I'd be more confident in that than Rojo.
All right, I'm gonna dig a little deep into this. Maybe not so deep, but I think that Antonio Brown is a guy who kind of gets off on being a villain. And I could see that energizing him and charging him and to having a monster performance. And I also think besides however motivated he is, the opportunities there for him to have a monster performance, I think he goes over 110 yards in this game and has 2 touchdowns.
I could definitely see it. And I think I agree with this too, that I think Gronk has himself a pretty damn big day.
This reminds me of the Super Bowl where who had the big games in the Super Bowl? Brown and Gronk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You saw why they wanted him then for sure. We got our man Luke says, start 2, Rojo, Gibson, or Renfro. Who we sitting out of this group?
I still want to comment about Antonio Brown being a villain. I think he's if I had to choose one, it would be Loki. because he's just kind of annoying. He's not really a huge threat. He's just kind of always there. And then his brother Tom Brady is really the more powerful one. Yeah, I think he's going to be low key. But all right, so I'm going to start 2 here. If Gibson doesn't play, then obviously you've got an easy play here. But if he does play, then it's Gibson and Renfro for me.
I double that. That's times 2.
I third that times 3.
I like that.
PPR.
I like that. And our man Trans-Siberian, he's got to go to dinner. So he says, look at his lineup. We got Mahomes, Jackson, Penny, Hill, Lockett, Henry, Foe. Man, he's looking good.
You better take Hill out.
Yeah, Hill's in.
Hill's in.
Oh,
Hill's in.
Snap. I almost said the other S word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's okay. You can do that on the Blitz.
My head's spinning because there's so much, it's Kelsey who's out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Kelsey's out. Hill's in. Because I was hoping it was the other way around because I got Mecole Hardman on a few teams, and I was hoping I could throw him in. Go ahead. What's that, Justin?
No, I was saying hi to Uncle Steve. He's in the comment down there.
Oh, Uncle! I thought you were waving to me and telling me you were related. I thought we were having a moment, but Uncle Steve, you stole that moment.
No, sorry.
That's good stuff. Yeah, good morning, Steve. It's okay as long as you're better late than never, my man. Better late than never. Joe Clark says he took the Ravens over the Bengals today and the Bills over the Pats this time. I think that's 2 pretty wise bets. I can see it definitely.
The Ravens over the Bengals straight up. He took them.
Yeah.
Let me see what the spread is. Does anyone know what the spread is? I might have to throw some money on them with the points if Joe's that confident.
They're on my player prop. They were on my Dollars to Deuces episode. Let me pull up my document real quick while you guys are going forward.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go to
plus
help
7.
out our band.
Plus
AJ
7
underscore first. Plus 7.
Yeah, Ravens plus 7.
So we got so it's DJ Moore, Amon-Ra, Penny, or Gaskin. He needs a flex. And it's PPR. So again, I think DJ Moore is the safe bet here. Like even no matter how bad the quarterback play is, he still finds a way to get points. I benched him last week. He ended up with like 6 catches and he had a 2-point conversion. Like nothing great, nothing stood out, but he ended up with like 8 or 9 points. And it's like, man, I should have started him because I was going big instead. So I'm not going to let that bite me again. Out of these options, especially, I don't think I feel too upset to have to bench any one of those guys. So I'll go with DJ.
Yeah, I'll go DJ too. He hasn't been blowing it up or anything, but he's at least going to get you 8 to 9 points. And right now you need points in the playoffs.
And there are 17 Moores out there. So this is DJ Moore, right? I'm not missing another D Moore, am I?
Right. Right. No, there is another one, but I don't think we're talking about him. I'm also with you guys. I like DJ Moore this week.
James.
Not particularly happy about the matchup, but I do like him better than all these other options.
Wait, is this AJ? This isn't the Aussie AJ? Is it like trying to get some advice to beat Coach in the fictional playoffs?
That'd be awesome if so, because I'm down for that.
Good luck.
We got Joe says for the Ravens, Bengals, it's playoff time. The Ravens have done this before. I agree. We got Stevie says St. Brown or Jay Palmer today, guys.
Man, a lot of St. Brown questions today. And I wish I could say St. Brown more, but without Goff, we just don't know what that's going to look like. And you got Jamal Williams, you got Swift is back, and I think it's going to be run heavy to get that offense going. And of course, we've already discussed the wide receiver depth issue with Mike Williams being out. So I think I'm going to lean Palmer.
I think Palmer goes 4 for 60 today, which is 10 points PPR. I don't really know if he's going to get you much more than that, but I think that, St. Brown could give you a 0 with the quarterback situation there.
If this is our main home league, this is also just for reference, it's 0.25 PPR.
Oh, so 4 for 60 would be 8 points, right?
Right.
No, it would be 7 points.
7.
Dang. Not great. Not great, Steve.
I'm going Palmer due to the fact what we talked about earlier. Williams is out. Guyton's out. Look, Herbert's going to throw the ball. He's going to be one of the options. In this case, I'm going Palmer.
Yeah, I like Palmer here too. I just don't have any dependence on St. Brown, unfortunately. I feel like I just got to go with the volume play, the floor play, and that for me is Palmer. We got our buddy Forever Loner says hello that they're depressed, and you know what, Forever Loner, that's tis the season for that. Just notate this little at Dirty Jobs over here in the corner at Dirty Jobs 21. Hit me up, man. Those DMs are always open. We can talk that kind of stuff out. Definitely, always down for a listen, always down to hear people out because it's a crazy world out there, and it's definitely a lot easier when we do this shit together, my man. Uncle Steve says this quarterback situation is as bad as it can get. We got Roethlisberger, Jay Johnson, Davis Mills, or Zach Wilson. I think you should be joining Forever Loner in the I'm depressed department, Uncle Steve. That's rough, man. That is as bad as it can get.
Jesus.
I'm gonna put a little pressure on you guys on this one because I've already talked to Uncle Steve about this, so I'm not gonna jump in on this one. But if he loses this week, he gets dead last place in our home league, and he has to wear a dress at the draft next year.
Oh my
Steve,
Lanta.
Steve, the Steelers are beating the Chiefs today. Chiefs are 28th against the pass. I'm going Roethlisberger here, and I'm actually feeling pretty confident in it. Roethlisberger looked like trash last week against the Titans, but before that against the Vikings, 26 points, 20 points versus the Ravens. You know, I think Pittsburgh, it's in Kansas City, so that might be a little bit of trouble, but I just feel like they're up for a game like this. And Roethlisberger doesn't have much of these left. And this might be his last good performance because next week versus the Browns are going to be pissed off. I don't think he's going to be doing great. But I think this might be the last time we see Ben Roethlisberger have a good game this week. Ever.
I'm with Coach.
Yep. I like the burger myself. Like, get him out there while you still can because he's going to be thinking about that too. Like, this is going to be possibly his last game of football ever, if not, one of his last two for sure.
And if it doesn't work out, I want to see the picture of the dress.
Yes. And Steve, I got to tell you, I don't care if you have a dress because I know I will see that picture and I know it'll make me laugh.
He'll bring the dress to Canton next year.
Yes.
He's facing my brother-in-law, and Steve is a huge supporter of the show. My brother-in-law, I don't think ever really listens, so we're definitely rooting for Steve.
We're pulling for Steve.
Hell yeah. Throw us the titles. Steve, if you don't have to wear the dress, maybe we'll do a video stream. Or you know what? If you do wear the dress, we'll do the video stream of you wearing the dress right after Rich's tour on the boat.
I don't think Steve would ever tune in again if we
maybe we'll superimpose Steve in the dress in the boat behind Rich's, and just kidding, Steve.
Oh, we got Danny Jenkins says PPR, we're picking two. Swift, Justin Jackson, Barkley, Thielen, Waddle. Who are we going with today, boys?
Pick two, so definitely not Thielen out of that group.
Is he out for sure?
No,
it's not for sure. It's not
just
for sure.
If he's still coming off that injury, even if he does play, I'm just not confident with these options that I want to.
He's practiced. He's practiced over the last 3 weeks, but I hear what you're saying. But he is Adam Thielen. He is a dog.
Yeah, that's fair. But I already said I like the upside as far as opportunity goes. I think Barkley will see a lot of touches, and I don't think I'm going to bench Justin Jackson in this game, getting the start this week. So I think because I tend to lean more towards running back anyway. Waddle is not a bad play by any means, but I'm going to go with Justin Jackson and Barkley. And I already know I'm going to be the contrarian.
I actually don't mind that, but I feel like I'm going to probably go Swift and Barkley myself. I like Swift. If he's good to play, I'm good to play him.
I missed Swift. I didn't see Swift. Yes, Swift and Barkley. I didn't even see it. That's why I didn't mention him. I wasn't even talking about. I didn't see it. So yeah, Swift and Barkley definitely. I agree.
Yep, Swift and Barkley for me as well.
Same here.
Man, I might be the crazy one here, but in PPR, if Thielen plays, I'm going Thielen and Waddle. Both of those guys, Waddle's going to get 8 or 9 receptions. Thielen will probably get 6 for 90. I think the ceiling is higher with those two cats. So I'm going to be the contrarian and go Thielen and Waddle.
I like it. It's PPR after all, so you got to swinging for the fences for sure. We got Patrick Dotsikas says Sanders or Javonte PPR.
That sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons character, Dotsikas.
That's how I was so able to just roll it out on my
Yeah.
tongue. Like, you'll notice I screw up every other word, like the and stuff like that. But you throw
Not
something
Dotticus.
out there, it flows right out the tongue.
Dotticus opens portals. He opens portals for sure. You know, he's probably got a little bard friend who travels around and carries his bag. You know, that's what I see as Dotticus. But go ahead.
Dotticus is a rogue for sure. For sure. Give me Javante today. What about you guys?
Yeah, I agree.
I actually like Sanders in this in this one right here.
Rich.
Like I said, Javante has to compete with Gordon. Drew Lock is the quarterback, going to be airing it out. Sanders is just going. He's last 2 weeks. He's been showing more of Sanders, what we want to see and everything. And I can see this being another week. So I like Sanders.
I'm not sure they're going to have to air it out so much. They're playing the Raiders.
Right.
I can't talk.
that wasn't meant to be a shot. I really feel that way.
Well, it was a great shot either way.
I think it's gonna be a heavy game for the running backs there. So
we got our man Joe. He says, just a friendly reminder, we got Hill active, Kelsey is out, and just hit that like button.
Yeah, and also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/toilets to titles. We won't be doing the Blitz in the off season, but what we will be doing is our Discord chat for all of our Patreon members. $3 a month gets you tier 1. It supports the show, but it also lets us support you. If you play Dynasty, Devi, whatever, it's 24/7 access to everybody at Toilets to Titles. And we also are going to be doing cool stuff. We got a playoff league coming up. We're going to get that set up. It's $10 an entry, so join it. It's a playoff fantasy. You can pick a player once throughout the playoffs, and it's total points. There's no matchups. Whoever has the most points at the end of the thing. We're paying out first, second, and third. Like I said, so join that regardless. Even if you don't join the Discord, it's $10. But if you do join Patreon for $3 a month, you get in for free. So you're already getting $7 back. So we're hoping that, you know, we put good out there, good comes back to us. So we're just trying to, you know, build something cool here, and we'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Absolutely agree with that. And we got our man Steve says Sanders hasn't practiced all week. Is he playing? And yes, Steve, it looks like everything is trending towards the direction that Sanders will be out there. So plan for him to be out or out there. Sorry, not out. He will be playing.
Is he talking about Emmanuel Sanders or?
No, I believe he's probably talking about
Sanders hasn't practiced at all week because of COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, maybe it's Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is also on track to play. He's cleared and he's playing as well, from what I just read. So we got Devontae for Hollywood for flex. He also needs to decide Bills D or Cincy D today. For me, it's not even close. I'm not playing Hollywood. I don't like the quarterback situation. I'm playing Devonta Smith for me. And I like the Bills D against Mac Jones. What are you guys thinking here?
Man.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Yeah, I like that as well. I like Devontae this week. I've said that earlier. And, you know, the Patriots got a little beat up last week. And I like but man, the Bengals, well, everyone seems to think the Ravens are going to come out and surprise the Bengals. So I'll go with the Bills defense.
Yeah, I agree. Devontae and Bills.
Excellent. We got Trans-Siberian says Plav was delicious for dinner, boys. He said, thinking what the heck is Plav? By the way, do we do fantasy baseball? And I don't think any of our guys are fantasy baseball guys, are we? Not at all.
Not yet.
I don't even watch baseball, to be honest.
Yeah, we have like a 15-person team, but I don't think any one of us is a fantasy baseball. I'm too much of a Red Sox fan. Now that is something I will get all homer up in that because I love baseball myself. I love baseball too much to get the fantasy because I don't even know how well. Even though I'm still the number one fan of the Broncos, I'm like a bigger fan of fantasy football for sure.
So Trans-Siberian DM me. I'm kicking around some thoughts in my head. So if you're
they've been kicking around for a while. So this isn't new. These are long-term thoughts. So yes, reach out to them.
And it was Miles, Uncle Steve.
Hey, shouldn't he be at dinner? Well, shouldn't he be at dinner, Trans-Siberian?
He just got done eating dinner.
He's in the Ukraine. He's in the Ukraine, so it doesn't really take that long.
Put your fork down for a minute while you're eating.
There's not that many options to eat in the Ukraine.
Yeah, Plav and borscht. Nate Goldman says full PPR pick 2. Russell Gage, Amon Ross, St. Brown, Ronald Jones, or Miles Sanders today. And For me, I am playing Jones and I believe Gage right here.
Man,
Gage has been on fire.
it's hard for me to start. I'm going Gage and Miles Sanders.
And Gage always bites me in the ass when I start him, and then he bites me in the ass again when I don't start him.
Yep, I said it last week.
I know, yeah, and I agreed. So I think, yeah, I can agree with that though. The other options don't really tickle my fancy. So
I can't. Gage is in that same as hashtag never start freaking Gaskin. So I can't get on Gage, and maybe that's a good thing. If I don't get on Gage, that means he's gonna go off because that's what happens. But when I submit him in my lineup, he doesn't go off. So I'm not gonna say Gage just to help you guys in this one. So I'm going Ronald Jones and Sanders.
And I agree. You know what? I have Gage in the league. I will purposefully bench him for you, just for you.
Hey, ding, ding, ding. DeAndre Swift is inactive. He is inactive.
No.
2 minutes. I mean, maybe the source is the name of this account. So Alex. So you can blame this on him. Listen. If Alex, who's usually on the Blitz, he's retweeted this. The name of the source is actually Fantasy Source _ So that's the source. But it says DeAndre Swift. Fantasy Source _ says fantasy update Lions running back DeAndre Swift is inactive today versus the Atlanta Falcons. So does that mean we could play Reynolds?
I like Reynolds.
I do. He gets a big uptake anyway.
Yeah, no. Ari Myrod from My Sports Update. DeAndre Swift is out. He confirmed.
Okay.
Trey Reynolds and Jamal Williams will carry the load in the backfield.
Life app says he's inactive. DJ Moore is active and Adam Thielen is active.
I like Thielen.
Okay. That's good. He's coming back for coaching. And Justin, if Penny lays an egg and Palmer goes off, he says, Max Hunt says, Thielen or Renfro today. And man, I can't ignore what
Wait, don't come for coach. I never said start Penny ever.
Go for coach. He said Penny all the time.
Stop it.
Oh, what are you thinking here, boys? Thielen or Renfro? I'm thinking Renfro here.
We just said Thielen was active, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is a good one right here. This is a tough one.
What are your other options? I'd like to know who you're starting over Thielen and Renfro. Like in your other wide receiver slots, please, Max. To really maximize what I can give you in this answer, I need to know the rest of your lineup.
In this case, I'm going to say Renfro. Am I covering everything up?
Yeah. You can never, Rich. It comes out of your eyes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I can't even find the. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't know. They're
CD
playing
and Keenan Allen. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's good.
Man, Allen. So if this is PPR, Allen's going to get you 8 or 9 receptions. CD's probably about 5 or 6. So I think Renfro is more of the PPR target. Like if you want a higher floor, but I don't know. Renfro's had a high ceiling too. We know what we're getting from Renfro, even though he did throw up a dud. I'm going to go on a limb and say Thielen. That's what my gut's telling me. Rich is saying Renfro. I think Thielen is. I think they've been very cautious about him. Dalvin Cook is out. Their opponent is good against the run, the Rams. And you know what? I kind of see there being like 80 points scored, Rams versus Minnesota today. So I think that's a lot of points in that game. Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I think they're both gonna have big days.
I'm gonna go with Renfro. I think going against the Rams, they are gonna throw the ball a lot in Minnesota. I don't know. I feel like the safe play here because of that injury. I'm gonna go with Renfro. I know just like Coach said, we know what we're gonna get with Renfro. We know it's gonna be consistent. He's gonna get a handful of catches, maybe a couple more than a handful, and he's going to get a decent number of yards. He might even score a touchdown. But I want the consistency, so I'm going to go with Renfro.
So that's 3 for Renfro, 1 for Thielen, and it's definitely a good problem to have with receivers like that for sure.
Coach has that feeling for Thielen.
Yes.
He's hooked on that Thielen.
Yeah. Ooga chaka. I can't fight this feeling deep inside of me.
Oh man, let's get Squizmatic taken care of here. He wants to know Marquise Brown or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown for me. The Battle of the Browns and the Amon-Ra wins for this one, the Ramen.
I finally get to say that I would start Amon-Ra. Because I wanted to this whole show.
I don't know. Pick up Josh Palmer.
I'm hitting the waivers is what the coach says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lean him on.
Amon-Ra for the win. We
The
got
Amon Ramen.
Amon Ramen says at Cal Francis says he's got a head scratcher. Waddle, Jamar Chase, or Gage. Please pick one. I'm starting Chase. I feel like Chase has himself a hell of a day today.
I think who would it sting more? So this is the first time I'm saying this episode. But with this question, which of these players, if you sat them, would it sting the most if they went off and you lost? Yeah. I think the answer to that is Jamar Chase. I think you got to go with Chase here, man. I have to throw him in there. I'm starting Chase.
Yeah, Chase has had some, last 3 games haven't been the best, but I think this is one of those games he bounces back in. I'm choosing Chase due to the fact I don't want to see him on my bench going off.
The last 3 games he's played top 5 passing defenses. Yeah. The last 3 games. This game he plays the second worst passing defense in the NFL. So, and what did he do last time he played the Ravens? He had 8 receptions, 201 yards, and a touchdown.
That's right. Against the Ravens.
Week 7. All right. So, man.
And the Ravens have had the Bengals down for a long time. This is one of those games where the Bengals are. I mean, it's a divisional game. They're going to come out. They're not going to let off the throttle. And Mixon's still banged up. Like I think
Joe was smoking the pipe this morning, picking the Ravens straight up over the Bengals. I got to say it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like a lot of times, everybody is all leaning one way, and then a team will surprise you. So maybe that's where he's going with it. But obviously, I'm leaning towards Chase as well.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Arizona Lions game. We were all leaning Arizona, and what happened?
I don't think it's that extreme, but yeah.
That was still pretty crazy, man. That was a crazy one that Arizona got beat by the Lions. I mean, Lions have been looking really good though the past few weeks. We got this fella by the name of Alex O. He says needs 2: Palmer, Bourne, Sutton, or Jordan Howard. He says also or Boyd. And what up, Alex O? How we doing, my man? For me, I'm probably going.
I think Sutton does well this week.
I think Sutton does well pretty this week, and I kind of like Boyd this week. For me, it's Sutton and Boyd.
I'm with you. I'm on that ship.
I mean, I could definitely get with Boyd on that.
Yeah, you could.
I'm not so sure that I'm not so sure I can get on there with Sutton with you guys. Like, I just never been a big fan. I'm going to go with Palmer. I honestly think Palmer has proven to me that he's every bit as talented as Courtland Sutton. I know that sounds insane to say, but I just don't like what I see in Sutton when I see him on the field. So I'm going to go with Palmer because of the opportunity today to give himself a name, and Boyd.
All right, so we got those. Rich, who are you taking?
I'm taking Sutton and Boyd. I'm going to go back to it again. Locke is there. He wants to throw the ball. And if I remember correctly, Sutton and Locke had a good connection every time they played.
Sutton and Locke, yes, they did. And Sutton's a high point wide receiver. He goes up and gets the ball, and Locke's a gunslinger. I think they match up very well. So that's why I thought Judy was actually going to be a better option for Teddy Bridgewater, because I think Bridgewater's a little more precise, and he likes guys who create big windows. And Judy does that with his route running. But you know what? Sutton does that with his reach and his ability to go up and get the football. But I think Sutton's more Locke friendly, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And then Alex says, what's up, boys? And he thinks you guys are holding down the fort, Coach and Rich. So, of course,
no problem.
Looking forward to having you back for the grand finale next week there, my man, for sure. And enjoy being out there with your family today. We got at Cerise Michelle saying Tom Brady or Matt Stafford today, boys?
Tom Brady or Stafford? I'm going with Stafford. I said earlier, I think that there's going to be about 80 points in that Rams-Vikings game. So I think Stafford's going to throw it up. I think the over-under right now for Stafford for passing yards is like 270. I'm slamming the over in that, and I think it's 2.5 touchdowns for him. Let me double-check. I'll double-check while you guys are answering.
Yeah, this one's close for me, and if it's close, then I always say screw Tom Brady. So let's roll with Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I actually
I'm going
like Matt
Stafford.
Stafford today too. Yep, there you go. That's a
Yeah,
4-pack for Stafford.
It's
And even Alex
286
on that
yards.
steps in and says Stafford as well. So you cannot go wrong when we're all agreeing right there. At Paul Lawrence 1 says, who starts, Devonta Freeman, Devonta Smith, and Damian Harris?
Damian Harris with no Stevenson. Damian Harris gets all the look, all the opportunity. So I mean, Freeman's played decent in a split though, but I mean it's a heavy split, so he doesn't get enough opportunity. And then Devonta Smith, like I said, drawing number one coverage and drawing Bradbury. I like the Devonta Smith play, but not over a running back that's going to be a workhorse. So Damian Harris.
Yep. Damian Harris for me too. Yep. That's double for Harris. What about you, Coach? You on the Harris train?
Yes, I am on the Harris. He looked great. I mean, it's only on 10 touches against the Bills last time, but I think, well, I'm hoping what I want for a game script is Josh Allen is throwing the ball all over the field. And I think the Patriots, hopefully to try to keep Josh Allen off the field because he's so hot, they're going to try to slow the game down. And to slow the game down, they're going to be running the football. Now, it could get away from them, but, I don't know. Like Justin said, Bill Belichick, he does a good job of limiting teams' options, and he might force the Bills into that game script all game where it's just run versus run. So I like Harris here.
Yep, I like Harris a lot as a volume play myself too. Just anytime you want to give me a running back that's not Devonta Freeman, I'm usually pretty happy about it. Or Myles Gaskin as well. That's the other guy that I'm never excited to get out there and play. Trey says full PPR. Swift is out. Should he play Duke Johnson versus New Orleans or Abdullah? He also gets 1 point per return yards versus Tampa Bay.
Man, that's tough. That is very tough. New Orleans is stout against the run.
And
They
Duke
are absolutely
was looking
stout.
damn good, man.
He was, but the Saints' run defense is awesome.
But Abdullah, I believe, is the return man. That's why he put that little caveat in there.
Yeah, so
point for every 10 yards. If he gets, let's say he's probably averaging 30 return yards, if I had to guess, that's 3 points. That's a 3-point jump for Abdullah. That Duke Johnson, and like you said, New Orleans has that tough run defense. That's going to be pretty close. I honestly think it's going to be pretty close. So I might even lean Abdullah and just hope that he breaks a nice punt return.
Same here.
Man, both defenses are good against the run. The Bucs are good against the run. The Bucs were embarrassed last week.
Yeah,
tough. I think it's a coin flip. I think you can legitimately toss a coin. Sorry.
I don't think that Duke Johnson gets any return yards. Like, I don't think he's the return guy. So
yeah, I'm going Abdullah on this one. Because
now, if DJ Dallas is available, I know there's a chance he's not, and Reynolds, he's not available. But if DJ Dallas is available, I like him over Penny in PPR. I think I'd be more confident in him than either of these two options.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I'd like Penny in that mix too. So if you can get out there, get on that waiver wire there, Trey, definitely do so. Get out there and get the right guy. Our next one comes up from 11th. The GOAT says Jordan Howard, Darrell Henderson, or Hubbard.
Jordan Howard, Darrell Henderson, or Hubbard.
I think it's Henderson for me, just from sheer talent. I mean,
yeah.
and if coach is that confident that they're going to score that many points in that game, then everybody in both offenses are going to be getting something. So Hubbard just hasn't done it for me like I would like to have seen him do with CMC out. And then Jordan Howard is Jordan Howard. Who knows? He might have 3 touchdowns for 6 yards, or he might not have anything at all. So I'm going to go with Henderson in that scenario.
Yep, I like Henderson as well here. What about you guys, Coach?
I like Henderson, and then the second question is DJ Moore, Boyd, Braxton Berrios, or Josh Palmer. I'm going Darrell Henderson and Tyler Boyd this week.
Who was the first one you said?
Darrell Henderson, and then the second question was Moore, Boyd, Berrios, or Palmer, and I'm going to go with Boyd in that one.
He said pick 2. That's why I said the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I heard Boyd. So yeah, he said pick
Boyd
2.
And Moore for me on the second one. I agree with the Darrell Henderson, but it's Boyd and Moore for the second part for me.
Yeah. I don't want to agree with that, but I can.
I think the reason why Hubbard has not been effective is because of Cam being there. So that's the reason why Hubbard hasn't been producing like he was before Cam got to the team and everything, because he did look good when he was in there for McCaffrey. But it seems like ever since Cam's been there, it hasn't been the case. So in that situation, I am going to go Darrell Henderson. And then on the second part of the question, I will go Moore and Boyd.
More Boyd. I like more Boyd. I like I said, Darrell Henderson as well there. Let's see here. Got Emery Strakowskis says Penny, Sony, or Reynolds PPR.
Say that again.
Strakowskis.
All right. Well, I mean Reynolds now. I like Reynolds as PPR. He's with Swift out. I mean, Jamal Williams is there, but I think he splits. I think Reynolds splits. I think Penny splits, and I think Sony splits. So I think Sony splits the least amount, and Penny is the least talented. So I'm going to go with Reynolds. You like that process of elimination?
I'm with you. Let's go with Reynolds there. Well, but Williams is playing. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Well, he's likely to play, but I'll go with Reynolds this week.
I like Reynolds here too, as well.
Same.
And then Ernesto Rosmena says,
yes,
Craig Reynolds or Jamal Williams PPR.
I'm not going first on this one.
I'll go with Reynolds because I think you got to stick with what's working, and what Williams is a good back, but the Lions have looked good with Reynolds playing running back, and I think that they're just going to keep riding the hot hand until something changes. It's a feel-good story. They need to feel good right now. They too are depressed, so they're going to keep riding Reynolds and hope that works out.
Absolutely. And then he follows that up with the pick one, PPR Van Jefferson, DK Metcalf, Craig Reynolds, or Jamal Williams.
It's tough. That's tough. Man, Jefferson's looked decent.
Yes.
DK's looked horrendous. I think if this is PPR, I might go Jefferson for the ceiling here. That big play, 40-yard touchdown that it's likely to happen, and especially because I did say I think there's going to be about 80 points in this game, so I'm going to go with Jefferson.
I'm good with that too. I agree. I think it's going to be a high scoring, high barn burner. I dig it. I like it.
I kind of like Jamal Williams in this one, to be honest with you. The PPR, they're going against Atlanta. Man, I don't know, because honestly, for me, it's either Craig Reynolds or Jamal Williams. I'm not, and Van Jefferson has been playing really well. I do agree with that. I think that Lions game, they're going to be pretty run heavy. I think they've slowly gotten progressively better and better. They don't have a quarterback this week, so they're going to have to run the ball like crazy. And when they do pass, I can see Jamal Williams being heavily involved in that passing game. I'm going to go with Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams. Oh, we got our man Jason Fiquete says he needs to start 3 out of 4. So who we benching here? We got Damian Harris, Ronald Jones, James Robinson, and Miles Sanders. We're benching.
Rojo, get the hell out of here.
Rojo's out. I agree. I don't want anything to do with that guy, even though he's pretty good. Yeah, I'm out.
I think I can agree with that. It's close between him and Miles Sanders for me, but I agree with that.
That's awesome. And then Nate Goldman says he thinks we forgot one. We missed it. And I think that was the one we just did. So, or no, that was this is actually a different one. You think we
he said never mind. He said never mind.
We got
Yeah, we did go over this one.
We did. Yeah, we got you, buddy. We just want to make sure we got you. That's what it's all about right there, is we're here to answer your questions. We got to make sure we get them all answered there. Oh, we got Saucy Bob Rossi says Justin Jackson, Ronald Jones, Michael Carter. Dude, I love it. He starts 3 PPR. Who we benching in this bunch?
I love that Saucy Bob Rossi.
Bob Rossi.
DM me. Justin's talking to somebody else about, DMing him for future work. So I'd love to work with a Saucy Bob Rossi. We could find a job.
Exactly. There you go.
All right. Start 3. Man, Gallup.
Ronald Jones, you're out again on me. But
yeah, man. I guess I think Justin Jackson's the safest here. And then it's a toss-up between Ronald Jones. So I like Jackson and Carter, and it's a toss-up for me between Ronald Jones I'm sorry. I like Jackson and Gallup. The Michaels were mixing me up. I like Jackson and Gallup, but Rojo and Carter, it's a little bit of a toss-up.
I'm sitting Carter.
Yeah, I think, in this one, I'm going Jackson, Rojo, and Michael Gallup as well.
Yeah, I agree. The PPR does it for me for that tiebreaker between Rojo and Michael Carter. With them missing all their wide receivers like that, they're going to need to do a little work out of the backfield, and there's nobody else left really. So, although I will say Le'Veon Bell is now active for today's game for the Bucks.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing.
Well, breaking news.
It does if your name is Ronald Jones. We got at Viva Stone says A. St. Brown or Van Jefferson, and I think on this one we've had this one kind of before. I think we all landed on Van Jefferson here, right?
Yeah, man. How about this one? Can I ask one for myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
So with Swift out, I got to start 2 out of these 4: Reynolds, Mooney, Michael, and Hardman. A half-point PPR. I'll type it so you can put it up.
I'm going to go with Reynolds and Mooney.
And I think Reynolds and Mooney for me too, actually.
I think
with Hill being in, I'm not playing Hardman. I know Kelsey's out, but I'm still not. They're the same player.
I still think that because I feel like Henderson's going to be fully back this week, so he's going to be back to more of a workhorse role, and Sony Michel's not going to get a whole lot of work. So to me, it's down to Reynolds, Mooney, or Hardman. And the only reason I threw Hardman in there as close to Mooney is because I don't like that weather situation in Seattle. We've already talked about that. But I do think typically most weeks Mooney's going to be the better play there. But man, Hardman is just he's just not consistent enough.
I also got Fant, so I'm starting Goddard.
Is it tight end?
No, it's not.
I go Mooney and Fant right here.
I'd go Reynolds and Fant. I'd start Fant over both of those guys I was debating.
Very interesting.
What Reynolds is it?
Craig Reynolds.
I'd go Mooney and Reynolds.
All right, but gentlemen, I need to beam myself out of here. I'm being summoned at 12 o'clock, so the rest of you guys take over the rest of the questions. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for getting me on this thing. I look forward to be on this again in the future.
Thanks for being there, Coach, and you have yourself a good rest of your afternoon, and good luck today, my man.
Man, even the light on my cam went out, and I didn't even hit nothing. It was like telling me, John, you need to leave now. So I can't, I can't say no to the light on my camera. All right, guys, catch you later.
All right, we'll see you Tuesday.
Take it easy, my man. The Big Q says Adam Thielen, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. For me, this is Adam Thielen. The volume should be there enough to where he should get it done. What are you guys thinking here?
I have that feeling.
Rich is hooked on that Thielen as well. Trans-Siberian says he's got a winter storm warning effect until 3. What heavy snow continued? 2 to 5 inches. Woo! Let me tell you, I am going to go outside near my palm trees today, my man. And we'll make sure I catch some bass for you there. Just for you, Ukrainian.
Are you gonna catch the bass with the frisbee?
I'm gonna catch bass with frisbees. You guys have never seen anything like it, but I'm gonna pioneer this art. You wait. You just wait. Sit there on the side.
I'll wait. All right.
I'm really kind of shocked I haven't done that accidentally as much as I hang out in the water down here. We got Alianza 94 says Justin Jackson at Houston, Barkley at Philly. Harris versus the Bills, half PPR, pick 2. Help! I'm gonna go Harris here.
He needs 2. I agree with Harris.
Harris and Barkley then.
Yeah. I agree. Harris and Barkley. They're all 3 great matchups for today. I think all 3 of them, you can't go wrong.
Oh, that's Seattle weather, he says. That's Seattle weather. So, goodness sake, Seattle must be getting pounded up there. I did see that it was coming in there pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did mention it at the start of the show.
Fair enough.
Yes, you did.
I have self-proclaimed myself the weatherman on the Blitz. So
there you go. Somebody had to be it. At the real J Tim says Miles Sanders versus New York or Antonio Brown versus Carolina at the flex today. Give me AB. What are you guys saying here?
Yeah, he's going to be heavily used.
I'll go with that.
A lot of volume.
Give me AB or give me death is what I
With
believe.
or without the PPR, I still say AB.
Yep, PPR for sure. I'm even more leaning that way. We got Al Bynuts says Pollard or Van Jefferson at the flex.
I'll be nuts. All right, I got it.
I'll be nuts.
Okay, guys, quit being 12.
I wish I could. For me, Pollard. I like the volume.
He said nuts.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Sheesh. Yeah, there is a lot of volume.
Van Jefferson.
This is tough, man. You both set it out. Now I have to decide.
Yep, you're the tiebreaker now.
All right. Give me Van Jefferson.
So it's 2-1. Van Jefferson.
No. Pollard. Against that Washington defense, I think you'll see a whole lot of Zeke and Pollard's also going to be that third down guy. I'm switching it to Pollard, and I'm more confident than what it sounded like.
There you go. I love it. The Big Q says, would Chase Edmonds be a good running back to put in since he doesn't have a good one? I mean, for next week, next week that might work out, but for this week we're a day late, buddy. So he would have been a fantastic play though if you would have done that yesterday, my man.
Yeah.
Because Chase Edmonds, man, he especially with a limited James Conner, that was a really, really good, real good run right there. I love it. I love me some Chase Edmonds. And a matter of fact, I tried to get Chase Edmonds in so many leagues and then ended up losing him because of the beginning of the year volume, and then really paid for that afterwards. We got at J Ross at 00116 says he has a tough decision today for who to start at wide receiver. We got Diggs, Thielen, Lockett, St. Brown or Brown. Brown might be on the bench because of the quarterback situation in Baltimore. So we're talking about not Antonio Brown. We're talking about Marquise and then St. Brown. For me, I think it's Diggs, and I don't think it's really all that close to the rest of these. I think Diggs is the guy who separates himself from the pack here. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I agree. There's too many question marks with the others.
Yeah, you drafted Diggs over every single one of these guys probably first, so that's who you go with.
Yep, he got you there. Perfect.
Oh, and the Big Q did. He forgot. Oh, he forgot he played yesterday. That is a bummer, man. He did really, really good too. Darn it. We should have had the Blitz yesterday. That's on us, my man. We will not fail you like that again. At Real World Disp says Antonio Brown or Jaw Williams for the flex spot PPR.
True. Ooh, I like this one. I like this. This is a tough one. I think they're both going to be heavily involved. This one's easy for Rich, though. I can see it. Go ahead. And then I'll just disagree with you, whatever it is.
AB.
Yeah, I figured you were going to go that route. I'm going to go with Javonte Williams. I'm going to put you on the spot this time, Mike.
Hey, and then for me, it's AB pretty handily. Just because of the situation that we have with Godwin out and Evans out, I think we're going to see Antonio Brown. Yeah. And I mean, you can say, now the defense is all going to focus on him. He's a guy that can handle that kind of a focus. He's AB. Definitely give him. Yep, for sure. One more tag out there for our guy at Randy Russell _UA. I hope that's like United Arab Emirates or something like that, not like urinary analysis, because that would just suck, man. That would just
University of Arizona.
The University of Arizona is good too, but even though he's a UNLV guy, so
yeah,
we got Bateman at Cincinnati, Coleman versus Jacksonville. We got Samaje Perine versus Baltimore. He needs 2 quarter point PPR. I'm sitting Coleman. That's who I'm sitting. I cannot trust Coleman anymore.
This one's my question, Rich. So I'm gonna throw the ball in your court.
So we need to bench one. I'm benching Coleman.
Okay.
Benching Coleman as well. Trans-Siberian says it's time to put this tent around the circus. He says, enjoy the show. Catch you next week unless you lose your semifinal. I hope not. And Das Vidanya to you as well, my friend, for sure. Definitely appreciate you. The Big Q says he's got his last question out there. Duke Johnson or Rashad Penny today? And to me, it's Penny. It's not even really that close. I like Penny today.
Penny's for me.
Yeah, I agree.
triple shot on Penny, and then our man Alex O jumping in saying Penny as well. So anybody who doesn't know Alex O is a regular on the Blitz. He's my co-host right there. Usually the man sitting to my left, which today is nobody. We got nobody sitting to my left today, but we got these two gentlemen here, awesomely enough, on the right. We got Zeke Elliott versus Washington, Pollard versus Washington, Gibson at Dallas, Henderson at Minnesota, Swift in Atlanta, Ronald Jones at Carolina. Good God, Justin, do you have every running back in the league, my man? Like, you shouldn't have to worry about who to start because nobody else should have anybody to start.
Well, this is a redraft, so if anybody knows the way I draft and redraft, if there is a starting running back available, I'm taking him no matter what round it is. So I always have a lot
Swift is
of
eliminated.
This one in particular, though, I happen to just get lucky that for the most part they mostly stayed healthy all season. So yeah, I'm in real contention to hit that championship match in this one, but I got to get over a major obstacle this week.
Give me Pollard, give me Henderson.
I'm going give me Zeke and give me Gibson.
We helped you a lot right there.
Pretty much what you did was you just took out the guy that's out now and
then split down the middle, and we left out Ronald Jones.
Yeah, where's Coach when you need him? All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Hey, at least if we're gonna leave anybody on the fence and hanging, it's gonna be one of our own guys. So,
and I also screwed up on my last question too. I was actually only supposed to start one, so you guys have it narrowed down to Bateman again at Cincinnati, or
Bateman for me still,
or P. Ryan against Baltimore.
Bateman.
Yep, still Bateman.
Okay.
Yeah, Bateman's been seeing him taking usage. Now, I don't like the quarterback situation there, but I feel like if they've been watching and paying attention to that first team offense, Bateman's been getting a lot of the targets, and I imagine it's probably that way in practice as well, because you're seeing him get the volume in the game. So hopefully they have a coaching philosophy that leans that way. I just don't have a lot of expectation of the volume out of P. Ryan and Coleman, although P. Ryan is pretty close. I mean, I do like him coming out of that backfield out of Cincinnati over there. So it is pretty close for me, but I still like Bateman. I feel like his talent should overwhelm the bad quarterback. He should be able to at least get you 5 for at least, like say 50 some yards. Again, I mean, it's not a huge expectation that we're coming out of any one of these guys. So,
right.
So for sure. Well, guys, that catches us all up on questions. Good night, man. There was a ton of them today. Make sure that you guys get on that toiletstotitles.com. Follow us. Get on the videos, the articles. Give us the likes. Give us all the reviews. Give us all the 5 stars that you guys can. Come on. Help us out. We do it for you. All you got to do is ask. I'm telling you, just hit us up in the DMs. Remember, we got that guy out there. I want you to hit me up on those DMs. Tell me exactly what's going on there, man. We'll get you some help. I promise you. We have a lot of fantasy community people out there, forever loner. Like, reach out, talk to somebody. If it's not us, just talk to somebody. Talk to anybody. Just talk. Do the talking. Guys, that's it. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Rich, for another great week. Thank you, Coach, if you're paying attention. Thank you to everybody for watching and being involved. And definitely thank you, Ukraine, man. And you guys have yourself a wonderful day. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas.